Really, this video should have been part of the Southern album series. The only reason it's not is because the class did not appear in the book that inspired that series. So let's redress that omission right now. This video will also appear in my pre-grouping Era 2 Locomotive series for obvious reasons, and while we're on that subject, the London South Western period will follow directly on after this video. The London South Western Class T7 4220 was a prototype express steam locomotive designed by Drummond for the London and South Western Railway and introduced in 1897. 5 similar locomotives, classified E10, were introduced in 1901, and it is this E10 that Dad decided to model. They are absolutely fascinating, so let's look more deeply into their history while you watch the model in action. Dad made the model from 2 Wills T9 kits, and it's presented in Drummond green of 1910 vintage. The motor is an Anchorage DS10 with 2 times 60:1 gears driving off each end of the motor to each wheel set. The chassis is completely scratch built for the locomotive. Of course, the loco features Dad's usual nice touches such as sprung buffers. It's numbered 373, so represents the last E10 built in 1901. I think the first question we might ask is, why a double single? After all, 440 designs were already proving successful. Well, for more than 10 years after steam locomotives were introduced, the railway companies operated their express trains with single wheelers. Think of the lovely Stirling singles. However, as train loads increased and more speed was sought, the companies started to look at 240s and 440s. In the 1890s, big singles made a comeback. Think of the well-loved Dean single. This was due to improvements in sanding gear and weight allowances. Singles were very much cheaper to build and maintain, so the bosses on the London South Western Railway started putting pressure on their locomotive superintendent to do the same. Drummond came up with the design for his T7 double single locomotive to meet the company's aspirations, but also to deal with the practicalities of the lines and train weights the London South Western had to operate. The T7, number 720, was born in 1897. It undertook regular duties between Waterloo, Salisbury and Bournemouth. The design also allowed for a better firebox, and with 4 cylinders in total. The front pair of driving wheels driven by inside cylinders in motion, and the rear pair driven by the outside cylinders with joy valve gear. Now just look at the action of this valve gear on Dad's model. The driving wheels were 6 foot 7 inches. Among the other notable innovations were all 4 valves used steam-assisted reversing gear, so the driver could set all 4 using a single lever in the cab. They were not short of power either, with 22,313 pounds tractive effort available. Issues arose caused by unequal power outputs between the front and rear driving wheels, leading to overheating and slipping of the rear drivers. Despite these issues, Drummond persevered with the double single design, and in May 1899 ordered 5 more to an improved design. And so, dear viewer, the E10 class that Dad decided to model was born in mid-1901. The Joy valve gear had been improved, and several other promising changes had been made. While better, they still did not solve all the issues. However, based at 9 Elms, they shared duties with the T9s over the previously mentioned routes on express duties. By mid-1904 they had been transferred to ocean liner specials and troop trains to Southampton, as well as other more lightly loaded secondary duties. They regularly worked with 4.5 sets, as you're seeing here, but also light goods trains. Incidentally, Dad made this 4.5 set by cutting up and using old Triang clear-story Great Western coaches. December 1913 saw them transferred to Eastleigh for the Portsmouth, Southampton and Bournemouth services. They all entered Southern stock at grouping. Alas, 1927 saw the last service operated by a double single, number 372, working a 6-coach liner special to Southampton. I think you'll agree they're fascinating and elegant machines, and it must have been an incredible sight to behold. And as for the sound, well, I've guessed at that for you. What do you think? Dad's talents never cease to amaze me, and I know he was delighted that I shared these models with you via Model Railways Unlimited. Cheers for now.